the whole countdown. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tazz, and you are watching the intro podcast. I am joined with the one and only. She's my sister. I said before, she sings, she dances, she be saving lives, and she be trying to barbecue. I'm gonna have to get over there to show you how to use the
Oh no,
barbecue.
don't be telling folks about that. Don't we
I
not gonna
got
do
my
that. I
sister
promise.
on today from Broken for Purpose podcast. The one and only Glennette Nelson is in the house. What's up?
What's up? Everything is everything.
That's what I always say. I am excited to have you on today's show. We are going to do our due diligence to make sure that everything is working. You can, on your side, you can go to your social media and make sure that the stream is up. Mine
No,
is
it's
up
not.
and running.
Mine
I'm
is not.
excited
I don't
about
see
it.
it. I don't see
I
it.
just, you don't see it on your social media.
No, it just says starting soon.
Let me share this with you.
Share with me because apparently something wrong on my side. I don't know if it's user error.
Okay, now it's on public. Change the audience. I'm excited for today's show. However, as we get everything together, let me share this to you on your
I'm
page.
excited too. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
While we're going through the logistics of everything, how is everything going in your world?
My world is going wonderful. I'm working, churching, working on some new projects. It's
I'm
wonderful. I have
excited.
no complaints. I'm excited too. I'm
I'll say
excited to
this:
chat and talk to you.
I am excited that I found my home. Like I absolutely love the church that I'm at.
I knew you would. I knew you would. I love it too. I've been there 25 years.
Okay, that's a long time.
And it
What
is.
was it about Bishop Sherman C.G. Allen and Cathedral Church? What is it about them that made you want to even become a member there? Being that you've been there for so long.
So let me tell you. Let me tell you. First of all, I still can't share because I still don't see nothing. Um,
Yeah, I'm about to share it with you right
uh, Second of all, let's see. I found my church home in 1999. I was driving down 30,
now.
right? And they used to be on Heaven 97. Pastor would do a show, and I was listening to the show. I don't even know how it came about, but I was listening to this gospel show, and I heard this voice said, "Rivers of living water." Pastor Laura used to do the little intro for it,
Yeah.
um, and right. And so I was looking for a church home, and I had visited lots of churches. I was actually trying to find a church that was kind of like what I went to when I lived in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
Um, so which was Unity Temple in Inola, Oklahoma. And so I had
Okay.
been to
Check your
these different
inbox, by
churches,
the way.
found it. So
No, you can post that one and you can tag people.
okay. So I was trying to find a church like the one I left in Oklahoma. And so I had been to all and we were Kojic in Oklahoma. So I had been to
Hmm.
all these Kojic churches here in the Fort Worth area. And I just did not really, you know, it just
Yeah.
wasn't clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it was November, and I came to the church, and pastor and them weren't there. They were, hey sis, hey. They weren't there. They were actually in convocation in in Tennessee, right? Is it
Okay.
Tennessee? Is it in Tennessee? Is that where they have the convocation? Is it Tennessee?
But you know better than me.
I don't know, but it was, they weren't here. Needless to say, Prophetess Mixon was preaching, and so I stayed and
Yes.
I listened. Yes, I stayed and I listened, and so the next Sunday I came back. Now let me tell you something. The first Sunday I tried to get there, I got lost. I got lost up in Woodhaven. Right, yeah, but so they came back and Pastor preached this message, and I felt like I was home. Okay, and so I joined, and I've been there ever since. Yep.
Praise God. Let's get some shout outs right fast. I'll let you get some shout outs to your people that's on right now. I know you see them.
I don't see nothing.
You don't see them. Well,
No.
we have
Oh,
the
there it go.
wonderful
I
woman.
see it.
Going to give you shout outs. I'll be right back.
I see Tamara. Hey, Tamara, I need you to change your last name because you are no longer a Boyd. You are a Walker. Hey, Pastor McIntosh. Love you. Hey, Melanie. I love you. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to have an awesome conversation. So, y'all chime in, put in your questions, like and share. Share this. Share this to your friends. Share this to your people. All of that. Tamara, then put it in parentheses. But we need the people to know that you are a walker. For my brother Sammy be like, why you don't want to take my last name, sis? So
Okay, so she says
yes,
she tried to share it on Facebook. I'm going to.
it won't let her. It won't let her change her last name. She's saying,
Oh, she can't change her name.
yeah.
I thought you couldn't share. I was about to say I was about to call Facebook and be mad at them.
But I need Tamara. I need y'all to share this. Melanique, share. Pastor McIntosh, share.
I
Clap, tell him
absolutely love the fact that Pastor McIntosh is on this live. I enjoyed the show that you guys did whenever you had her on Broken for Purpose. I had been hearing from Pastor, from Bishop, about all the individuals that are a part of Christ Cathedral Fort Worth who God had been healing.
right,
And one of the first people that he told me about, due to my situation with Bell's palsy, was Pastor McIntosh. And
right.
while we were waiting for you to get on that day, as well, what's up, man? Good to see you also, man. Do me a favor and share the live. Anything that we're talking about, man, you're definitely welcome to come on live, one video. Absolutely. Anyone who's watching right now, if you want to come on live video and comment on anything that we're talking about, you can do so. I will post that link in the comments for you. We want you on live if you want to be live. So we're going to do that.
Yes, come on in.
You can
Come
come on
on
live
in.
if you want to. But Pastor McIntosh inspired me because while we were waiting for you to come on the show that day, she gave me a brief testimony of all the things that God had done for her with uh, the healing and the battles that she was going through. And whenever you look at her now, like I told her, like, you don't look like nothing you've been through.
At all, do she?
And it's amazing how we're able to go through things like what she's going through, or even what I'm going through, or things that you've gone through, whether it's the physical things, the mental things, or whatever, how we go through stuff and we come out with not even a scratch. We
Right.
don't even
Not
come out
even
with a
smelling
scent of
like
being
fire.
burned.
Right. Not even smelling
Come
like
on,
the
be in my
fire.
mind like I'm talking about already. So I really I appreciate God because well, no, I appreciate Christ Cathedral, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've shared this on my personal podcast when it was just me, but now that we probably have a larger audience, I want you guys to know that while I was in the hospital about 2 or 3 months ago, they diagnosed me with Bell's palsy, and I had Ramsey Hunt syndrome also. So the whole entire left side of my face has been affected from vision to taste to hearing and everything. But while I was in the hospital, keeping in mind, I wasn't a member of Christ
Right.
Cathedral, or I wasn't even in conversation with the bishop or the first lady at all.
Right. Right.
But while I was in the hospital, anything that I post on social media regarding my health, Bishop was on everything. So I was like, okay, now that this I somehow have acquired this man's attention, I have to make sure I don't cuss nobody out.
Don't they make
And
you
look,
get right just by being on your page?
they made me get saved. I was like, well, God, if I'm gonna do it, I guess I'm gonna have to do it for real.
Right. Because
But
there are times I be wanting to be like, then I be like, dang, they on me.
yep,
Erase that.
I told
Yeah.
him recently, I was like, being a part of the ministry, doing the things that I do now, makes me hold me accountable,
Right. Right.
because there are people who would love to say, "Oh, Troy is at this church and he's doing this," or Tazz is saying this on social media, but you won't have that opportunity no more because I love my bishop and first lady too much.
Yeah, I love them too. Now, don't get it twisted though. They was mine before they was yours. So, you know.
Oh, pretty much, you've been there for 60 years.
I'm not 60 years old. Stop it.
Oh, my bad. Let's go to the comments right where
Okay.
go on and read Miss Boyd's.
Which one? Oh, she said she's my shero because of her. She's talking about Pastor McIntosh. Because of her, she made it this far. Her drive will push you past pity. Yes, ma'am, it will. And right now, Tamara is walking with sarcoma and lupus. And
Wow.
those are, you know, I know people that have lupus, so I can only imagine. And then the sarcoma, whoo, baby, listen. But let me tell you about something that I do know about Tamara. She be on that front row. She's been going through this for a while. And one thing that I noticed is that she be on that front row. She be loud. She be praising God. You be telling her to be quiet. She ain't trying to be quiet because she know what God is doing for her. And
I
I'm
need to see
telling
her.
you, she on the front row all the time, right in the middle, helping Pastor
Does she
preach.
be dancing like worship dancing sometimes?
Like worship dance. What you mean?
Like not with the dance team, but like there's a lady who be in the front row. She's kind of tall, and she worships through dance.
No, that's Glennette.
Okay, I like her too. I just love the church in general.
But yeah, but no, Tamara, you know her because she be pushing Pastor. She be pushing him. She be like,
Okay.
yes, Bishop. Yeah, she.
I mean, you have no other option but to push whenever that man of God is preaching. His revelation is so ridiculous. Like,
Isn't it
I don't know,
though?
like he pulls stuff from the heavens, and I'd be like, where did this come from, man?
And listen, it 25 years, it's only gotten better. You know, some people they preach for so long that they you know, it's the same thing, and you be like, didn't they preach that last time? Baby, no. Everything he preaches is like fresh revelation. I just want to sit at his feet and be like, well, I don't like to take notes. That's probably why I don't. But you know, I can just be like, oh yes, he'll make you. You can't sit up underneath him and not learn whether you want
This is
to or
very
not.
true. Yeah.
Some of that stuff has trickled into my bed, baby. Tamara said he has our house is bugged. Listen,
I believe that because the very first Sunday I went whenever I got out the hospital, I would never forget this message. And I told him, as of right now, this is my favorite one. He preached, I'm dealing with a lot. That message, when I tell you, took me out of there. Because everything he said, it was like, you know my whole entire life, and I literally just came around you today.
Right.
So whenever you can hear from God.
Oh, he hears from him. He hears from him. I mean, they have they got to be having little personal conversations, just talking about folks. But I love it. I love it. I try and be right because I don't have time for him to be. Listen, in 25 years between, and I said it on my podcast when I was talking with Pastor McIntosh, between Pastor Allen, Sister Tanya Allen, Laura O'Neill, Deborah Paramore Hendricks. They keep their foot on my neck.
Yeah.
I swear I can't listen. I can't step out the sanctuary too long.
And they not be like, "What's she at?"
And Laura O'Neill be listen. I was doing something Sunday, and I was literally doing something for real. Where you at? Where you at? Get back in the church. And I'm just like, okay, mama. But I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Pastor McIntosh say my uncle say he can hear a rat.
Baby, he can. Then he hears from God.
Yes, he does.
Listen.
I appreciate that ministry. God is doing some wonderful things. Are y'all sharing the live?
Because we need people to come in so we can talk and put your questions in the live. If you need us to talk about question.
Yeah.
What are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about, let's talk about your hair because it's so beautiful. Now, today on the intro podcast, first and foremost, let me let you guys know that this is a live show on Facebook and it's a live show on YouTube. You can follow us on YouTube just in case, because we may start doing some shows that are exclusively for that platform. But after we do these shows, they are going to be distributed to all the major podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, again, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. I would absolutely pin that information for you, Miss Tamara.
It's on YouTube too? What?
We on YouTube right now.
Ooh, what's the link?
I'm gonna post it right now. Let me see.
Yes, look at this.
While we're going
YouTube
through.
official.
Let's see.
Because
we are going to. I'm sorry. What were you about to?
I was just about to say I know people that are on YouTube but not on Facebook. So yeah.
Yeah. But today, as I was sharing with you before, there's still a lot going on in the world as opposed to mental health. So today we are definitely going to be conversating about that. Just conversation because you never know what a person is going through or what a person needs to hear.
Right.
While they're going through it. And of course, like I said, anyone who is on here that is listening and you want to actually come on video and talk to us, you can do that. But if you just want to type, we'll actually read and show what you type. Because I just believe that we are in a time where people need to know that they're not alone. And that they're not the only people going through what they're going through.
Right. But I was since we're talking about mental health, I was driving and across my feed there came a update. There was a mass shooting in Arkansas. And 3 people dead, 10 people injured. And it's crazy.
Wow.
So we have to be careful. We have to stay prayed up. You have to be aware of your surroundings because everybody's not firing on all 12 cylinders. So,
this is very true.
Work, play, visiting. I saw another where at a Juneteenth, and I don't know if it was in Houston. Was it in Houston where they had that mass shoot? Well, a shooting in Houston and 2 people died. 2 women, wow. 2 Black women died, and 14 people were injured. So we've got to be careful and be aware and all that stuff. It's just we got to be safe. We got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, because I think that I just posted on yesterday for me in my neighborhood, I have decided that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I want to be able to feed the people in my neighborhood, the homeless, or
Right.
the kids who are just outside. Because one thing I've noticed in talking to them is a lot of individuals who got addicted to something
Mm-hmm.
got addicted because they were trying to do something to get food, trying to do something to get a place to stay, trying to do something to get money, but because nothing was available to them to keep them from becoming addicted, they just fell into whatever the first thing was.
Right. Right.
And
I
I
can
tell
understand
people,
that.
don't judge my decision when you never knew what my options were.
And that is so true. You know, it's funny that you said that because when I used to work with adolescents in the psych hospital. And
Hmm.
one of the things that I tell people is that as we get, as people get older, or they don't know where you come from, or they've never gone through anything quite like that, you have to
Hmm.
remember you can't judge me because you don't know. The only choices that I had in life was between a bad one and a worse one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of good choices. It was between a bad choice and a worse choice. You know,
Hmm.
live, do what I have to do to see tomorrow, or die in whatever I was in.
Yeah.
And I just refused to die in what, you know, in whatever I was in. I just,
Yeah.
I don't have that. I, as a woman, and as a black
Hmm.
woman, I just don't
Yeah.
have the luxury of breaking down and giving up.
Yeah. And
Because if
like,
go
go
ahead,
on the fence there.
because if I don't do it, who is?
This is true. And I learned, and well, I'm learning now that one of my issues that caused me to feel a certain kind of way or be in certain circumstances is I gave responsibility or titles to people who didn't even ask for it.
Right,
And whenever they didn't live up to what that title was, I
right,
started feeling a certain kind of way because I was like, no, you supposed to be this. If you my brother, you supposed to care like this. If you my auntie, you
right,
supposed to care like this. If you my
right,
mate, you supposed to care like this. And then I
right.
heard somebody say on the show, we can't be mad at people for not living up to our expectations whenever it
Expectations.
was never their expectation to want to even be that.
Right. We
We
pull
just get
people in.
attached to people
What they
because
call
you,
them?
huh?
Situationships.
Situationships or homosexuals or leeches or and the list goes on and on.
On and
But
on. Right.
because we give people those responsibilities and they never even ask for it, we get let down.
Yes.
And it causes survival looks different for all of us. It absolutely does look different. Some people can actually stay on a positive mind frame to where, regardless of how bad it is, I'm
Right.
focused. But you have
Right.
some people, whenever it gets that bad, it's like anxiety, and I get etchy, and I have to find a way out. And normally, whenever you get to that situation, the way that you find out is not necessarily the best way. But again,
Right.
don't judge me,
Right.
especially if you know I'm going through it and you have never even tried to help me.
Exactly. Exactly. And we have to be careful about that because we can, if we're not careful and we've come out of some things, we find ourselves judging other people, you know.
Yes.
And that's one of the worst, that's one of the things that I go out of my way not to do, because I know where I've been and I know where I come from, and I refuse to judge anybody else's struggle,
Yeah.
because therefore the grace of God go I. You know,
Hmm.
I'm not special, but he, you know, he, but yet I'm here and he's kept me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that hasn't always been my testimony. You know,
Hmm.
there were days that I just wanted to give up, throw in the towel and be like, you know what, forget it. But
Hmm.
like I tell my young people, uh dying in things is easy.
Yeah.
Dying, it's
Yeah.
easy. When I deal with kids that are suicidal like that, I tell them dying is easy. because
Yeah.
you die, you gone, you not, but it takes a strong person to wake up every morning knowing
Yes.
that the world is trying to kick your teeth in,
Yeah.
knowing that it's trying to take you out, but you still get up, you still go out there, and you still face the day. That's what strength is.
Yeah. And if you have to develop that for yourself, because sometimes even your support system won't be there for you.
Right.
And whenever your support system is not there for you, you have to be able to say or live off of the fact that I know that there's a way out. I know that on the other side of this, there's actually a rainbow, there's actually sun. I just have to make it there,
Right.
regardless
Right.
to who's there with me or who's not there. Because I was talking to Bishop this past Wednesday, and I was sharing with him that mentally I was struggling because since I've been going through what I'm going through with Bell's palsy,
Mm-hmm.
friends and family members that I expected to be something or to care or show or do something just
Right.
didn't do it. Bishop looked at me, he said, son, I'm gonna tell you what God is doing. God is not allowing some people to be that for you.
Uh,
Because if every time you call somebody, they answer and they do exactly what you need done,
right.
you will never have a reason to seek God's face.
Mm. Listen, ain't he good? I tell you, my pastor know exactly what to say, don't he?
And that's one of the the most painful things for me to hear whenever I'm like, but I've been all this to everybody. I've cooked your food, I've washed your clothes, I've babysitted, I've taught your children how to drive. I've done all this. And look at me now. And where are you? Keeping in mind, I'll see you posting on Facebook that you going here, you spending time with this person, this person, this person, and I'm like, you know about me, you know where I am, but you don't
Right.
care. Bishop was like, no, it's probably not that they don't care. God just he got flipped the switch and was like, don't even worry about it.
Right.
Nephew is on. The Zion Christopher is on.
Hey, Zion.
We appreciate you, Zion, and congratulations on everything that you have going on with your music and being on this show on YouTube.
I
Um,
voted for you.
I did too. I was surprised that you knew all those Brandy songs, by the way,
I don't know
because
why his mama loved Brandy.
oh well, there we go. And she's
Yeah.
from Macomb like me, so I feel like I should have known all of that. Nowhere to be found, and you were their assignment, they're not yours. Yes, I feel like I've been assigned to a lot of people, but nobody has been assigned to me. I have not been able to get that reciprocation.
But here's the thing, and this is just how I see it, how I look at something to make it. If those people that we wanted to help us, to be there for us, to hold us, to comfort us, to do whatever it is that we wanted them to do, if they would have did that then, we
Yeah,
wouldn't be where we need to be now.
very true.
I wouldn't be doing what I'm supposed to be doing now if like I said, everybody knows I was raised in foster care. If I would have been rescued then I wouldn't have gone through whatever it is that I had to go through to be here now to help those. Because Pastor said something profound to me years ago, and he probably think I don't be listening to him, but I do. But he said something to me profound years ago, and he said that sometimes it's not about you. The things that you go through, it's not about you. It's about somebody else that's watching you. And sometimes the God in you is the only God that some people will see. So I had to go through whatever it is that I went through to be able to be here now to pull some people in. Because if I had never been molested, if I had never been raped, if I had
Yeah.
never been abandoned, if I had never been rejected, then I couldn't speak to those people that have gone through those things. Because nobody wants to hear from somebody that you don't know what I'm going through because you've never been there. You can empathize with me, but you don't know. You don't know how many times I have nightmares or how many times I have flashbacks because you've never been there.
Yeah.
So I had to go through what I went through to help somebody else.
I absolutely agree. And I think that that's why I'll say since the beginning of my relationship with God, I have been, I don't want to say doing church, but I've been doing church literally since I was 7 years old, playing and singing in churches. And I think that the things that I have had to go through since then, because being the musician, I was always like buddy, like with the pastor. Like I got to know the ministry side of the leader. And then which caused me to have to deal with, the whole molestation thing, to have to deal with them sending me on the road with the pastor that I've told them every time he send me off somewhere, he only get a 1-bedroom hotel. And they don't even, instead of them sticking up for me, they just basically, whenever he came back in town, they gave him the address to my new house and they knocked on my door asking me if I was coming to the service this week. I'm like, if you don't get the hell out of my face. But I went through that because now at 42 years old, I'm meeting individuals who either are going through it or have went through it, and the way they dealt with it wasn't the best, because whenever you don't have the positive way to deal with something, you're going to go to alcohol, you're going to go to drugs, you're going to go to sex, you're going to go to everything that makes you feel comfortable, even if it's just for that moment. So I believe that while I was in all of that, God kept me because he knew that I was going to reach a moment in time to where I was going to have to be somebody's answer.
Of course. Of course. God sees all, knows all. It's new to us, but it's definitely not new to him.
Not new to him at all. I feel like God be looking at us sometimes and be like, you peasant, you think I'm going to let you deal with this and I'm not going to bring you out, and you like, you reverend me. You think I'm just going to let you deal with this and not do nothing for you?
It's funny because right now, at this time in my life, I'm walking a walk where I have to learn patience. I am I I am that type of person that I am impatient. I want what I want when I want it, and I want it now, and not because I'm selfish, not because, oh, I want it now. It's more, it came from a place of fear.
Yeah.
I need it to happen now, because what happens if they change their mind? What
Mm-hmm.
happens if they die and I never get the chance? Just, and so
Mm-hmm.
all those fears were going through my head, and so it would cause me to pick situations, pick relationships, pick friendships that weren't always the best, because
Yeah.
I just wanted, I needed it. But right now I'm learning, I'm dealing with a situation where I have to learn patience. I have to learn that, okay, it's not in your timing now. You
Yeah.
you got to walk this out. And so while I'm doing it, I'm trying to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm praying about it. I'm trying to read my word more. I'm
Yeah.
trying to work on me so that
Yeah.
when the time comes, I'll be ready and able to appreciate everything, you know.
Yeah.
And so patience is not my virtue, but woo.
Mr.
I
Wait,
wish,
Pastor Magazine.
I wish you could
Yes.
put that up there. I remember that commercial, Pastor McIntosh. I remember
I
that
love it.
commercial.
I love it. Pastor
She
McIntosh is
said,
one beautiful lady.
hey, she in the inside and out. But look, up above that earlier, she made a comment that said, That's it. Faith develops in the dark.
I sure would love
Baby,
for her to come on and just expound on that, but I know she ain't gonna do it right now.
listen.
But I would
And
sure
it's
give you the whole floor.
ain't that profound? And here's the
It
thing.
is.
I'm scared of the dark.
Yeah.
And faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I can't see in the dark, but that's where faith
Mm-hmm.
develops. When you're in the
Yeah.
dark by yourself and you think all the monsters are going to get you,
Yeah.
that's where faith develops.
Yeah.
I love that she said that. Oh, that'll preach, Pastor McIntosh. That will preach.
That would definitely preach. The dark also it develops in the dark place because if you really want to come, like for instance, I love scary movies.
Yeah,
Love them.
me too.
Brandy
Me
has
too.
one that's about to come out, and I have to watch. Hold on. Pastor Max says she a thug.
She a spiritual thug.
Thug the gang sign.
I love it.
Miss Boyd says it equipped you. It definitely did equip you. In
Yes.
scary movies, hopefully they don't let Brandy die in this one that's about to come out because I'm gonna be mad at everybody. But in a scary movie, you once you're in like the last part of the movie where the monster or the killer is killing everybody, you have to have that thing in you that says, I'm going to get out of this. You are not going to kill me. Jason, what's the man with the
Michael Myers.
You are not going to kill me,
Krueger.
Michael Myers. And oftentimes it's at nighttime. They don't ever really try to kill the main character until it's nighttime. So that main character has to build up the to say, regardless to what I have to go through, I may get stabbed, I may get kicked, I may get shot, but I'm not going to die. Because I believe that if I can get to this door that seems like it's all the way down the hall, but if I can get to this door, I'll make it out and the monster can't get me. I believe that's what faith is. If I can just get there, I don't see it right now because all I see right now is what I'm going through. I tell people like what I'm dealing with now, yes, this kicks my butt mentally a lot because I'm not used to being able, first and foremost, I ain't even want to do live videos on nothing until my whole entire face got cleared up. But then God spoke to me even while I was in the hospital. He was like, let me build up an audience of people who don't know you, but see you like this. So that whenever I perform the work and heal you the way I'm going to heal you, they'll understand that it was only me. So again, I was talking to Bishop. Bishop was like, let God do what God gonna do.
Let him do what he gonna do.
So
And
even in the go ahead.
I done forgot just that quick what I was about to say.
Hello to Miss
Hey,
Latoya.
Toya.
That's my homie. She be in the if I'm not mistaken, she be in the booth with me on
That's her.
Sundays.
She be in the booth. She be dancing and she run up there.
Yes, she does. She is in such good shape because who can't dance and then run up those stairs is I. Praise the Lord.
You know, I used to be on the dance team.
Well, yeah, I can see you. I can see you dancing. Praise the Lord. Look, let me also disclaimer. I know I have a lot of church folk on here. I said in the description, you're going to get the perfect balance of righteousness and ratchetness on this show.
I'm righteous.
So
I'm righteous. He ratchet.
No, it's just it's the other way around. She is ratchet.
No, I'm not.
So I appreciate the fact that we are whole people, so we can actually give them both.
Yes.
For those, don't be offended,
Please don't.
because I believe that if more people allow themselves to be whole people on both sides, trust God, believe God, but whenever you want to thug out, listen to the Migos.
You could have picked a different group.
That's the only rap group I know. Listen to Janet Jackson or listen to
Never mind.
She said there's nothing wrong with a little ratchet. I promise it's not.
Who said that? Toy? Toy ain't got a ratchet bone in her body. Don't
She
listen
don't.
to her.
She's so saved. Whenever she be in the
She's so
booth,
she her
she
mama's
just be
armor bearer.
worshiping.
She her mama's armor bearer. She
By
don't
the
have no
way, you
ratchet in
guys,
her.
do me a favor while we are on, if you don't mind, share the live on whatever platform you're watching it. Of course, again, we are on Facebook Live and we are on our YouTube page under Spotlight
YouTube.
Broadcast Network. I think we're gonna do this at least once a week, also, you guys. But
I
we have
made
to
it, y'all.
match. This girl is crazy. She, she said, "Whatever, Glennette." um,
Listen, you ain't
Go ahead.
ratchet, little girl. She ain't
No,
ratchet, little girl.
no, she ain't ratchet. Look,
Uh,
she's so saved.
tell her to
Her hair
share
is
it.
saved.
I know, right? But tell her to share this live. You gotta bully and boss some folks around.
Pop is watching.
Hi, Papa. I love him. That is, oh, I love him. The words, I love the words. Oh, I call him Pop. He my Pop. I love the words.
Well, thank you
Reverend
for
Word and
watching.
Dr. Gloria Word. I love them. Listen, they pulled me in to become a Sunday school teacher.
Oh Lord, I feel sorry for them kids. Jesus
It's not
Christ.
kids, it's adults.
Oh, that's right up your alley then.
And how you gonna feel sorry for the kids?
I'm just saying. I remember whenever we were in the studio in Dallas and Reagan, Nia, and yeah,
And Ryan,
I remember that story.
they came and listen though. They were I told you I've been at the church for 25 years. And out of
Mhm.
those 23 years, I worked with our youth.
Wow.
Listen, they all still here. They all are functioning members of society.
They all have their limbs, all their
They
teeth.
all, yeah, nothing, they're not in jail. Toy was one of my kids. And I'm gonna tell you this. It's one thing as the pastor of the church, it's one thing when you put somebody over the youth and they're other people's kids. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But he trusted me enough not to just put me over working with the youth, but he entrusted his own kids to me.
Jesus.
And that says a lot. And that
Yeah.
was the beginning of me seeing myself differently.
Yeah.
When somebody believes in you, not by
Yeah.
what they say, but by what they do.
Yeah.
You can tell me all day long, oh, you wonderful, you have so much
Mhm.
potential, you can do this, you can do that. But when they show you,
Yeah.
children are that's their lineage, that's their seed, that's what's going to take their family, and then they entrust their seed to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That said a lot to me. That
Yeah.
Pastor Laura, she entrusted her kids to me. You know what I'm saying? That said a lot to me.
Yeah.
When you entrusted something so I can't even think of the word, special.
Precious.
You know what I mean? Yeah, precious. That's the word. When you entrust something so precious, because people be crazy about their kids.
Yes, it does.
I watch videos. People trip out over their kids.
Yes.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, I've lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
You too young for that.
I know. I'm 51.
Girl, you so young. Miss Boyd said once you get that type of trust, how do you get rid of it? I'm sick of kids.
Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Wait a minute. You sick of kids, girl? Stop it. Don't listen to her. She love it. She love it all.
She does.
Don't put that up there.
Oh, I do see her. I have to see the face.
Yeah, she be all up there trying to help Pastor preach.
I got you now. Whenever I see you on Sundays, I'm about to have to come and stand and shout with you. Speaking of shout,
do you know how to shout? Do you know how to shout?
I got a little one too, It might look like crip walking sometime, but it's all good.
Well, wait a minute. She say she's 53 and never lived by herself. Well, you got a husband now, so you won't be living by yourself never.
Ever.
For the rest of your life.
Look at God when you do it.
I think they went to the Bahamas and got a monsoon on them.
I want to go to the Bahamas. Shoot, I just want to go to Walmart. Shoot, I'm tired of Dallas.
I want to go to Aruba.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I ain't going with you.
Mm.
Just playing. I'm just playing.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
I just hope he working.
This show, let me do this right fast. Pay some bills right fast. This show today is sponsored by Mr. Kenyon Glover. He's our advertiser or a sponsor for today's show. July 27th, he is sponsoring an Impact Fashion Showcase here in Dallas. They have a lot of independent fashion designers from all over the world who are going to be here showcasing. They have models. I've actually been able to have him on a show independently for an interview. But the important thing about this fashion show, of course, we're talking about mental health this month. The most important thing about this particular fashion showcase is proceeds from this showcase is going toward the Halliburton Foundation, which focuses on mental health awareness and help individuals who are going through mental situations. So again, that is July 27th. I will have his information about this show in the description, or you can just go to my page and you can scroll and you'll see it. But he is one of our sponsors for today's show. We appreciate him for that. What else? If you like good R&B music, check me out. I am Travain on all streaming platforms. Love music. I'm a lover. Although I'm a single lover, but I'm a lover. Some of us are not single, right, Glennette? But also today's show is
I'm single.
Today's show is also sponsored by Diane Clients with Legal Shield. Anything that you can ever need legal assistance for, Legal Shield covers it for as little as $29.99 a month. From wills, living wills, driving violations, all of the above, court time and everything. For more information, you can contact Miss Diane Clients at 214-881-5225. I have been a member of Legal Shield and an associate for about 5 or 6 years. I use the service a lot because I have a heavy foot and my driving record is still good. Just saying. So if you are in need of legal assistance for anything, you or your kids or anyone under your roof, you can be covered for as little as $29.95 a month. Again, you can contact Ms. Diane Clients at 214-881-5225. Let's go to the comments one more again. You can go in and read that from Stephanie.
Stephanie, that's my best friend, Stephanie. I love her.
Come on, best friend.
Me and Stephanie have been friends for 25 years.
Stephanie, I admire your patience.
Oh, now listen. Don't even.
I know I know 9 out of 10. She's like really, really innocent, huh?
Yeah, I am.
No, Steph.
Thank you. Yeah, we both innocent. But not too much on me.
I don't know why. I'm trying to get used to this microphone, girl.
Look, user error. You know, let me tell you something. I love my tribe. They accept me for who I am and they meet me where I'm at.
Yes.
And they never judge me. Now, sometimes they be trying to yank me up, you know, be like, listen. But I be like, I ain't got to listen. But then they yank me apart, and I be like, I'm gonna listen now.
Listening.
Look, I'm gonna listen now, but when you go away, no, I'm just playing.
That part. Let's talk about something right. Go ahead.
What are we talking about?
Let's discuss headline news over the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of people coming up missing.
I know. Love you too, Melanie. I know.
I've been just every morning I wake up, there's a different posting about someone missing. I know there's uh, senior citizen. Her last name is Polk. She's missing now, and she's been missing for as long as this the person that we are about to talk about now, Mr.
I
Jarvis
saw that.
McIntyre.
Yeah,
This comes from Yahoo News. Jarvis McIntyre case: body of a missing vet found in San Antonio. Family believes he was targeted for being black and LGBT. Story goes on to say the body of missing Navy veteran Jarvis McIntyre, also known as Cisco Mills, who traveled to San Antonio to visit his siblings ahead of his birthday, was identified on June 17th. A tweet from a longtime friend of yours who goes by the name of at underscore McCole 314 on X, formerly known as Twitter, revealed that the St. Louis native went to Texas to visit his siblings and did not return, and no one heard from him following an alarming call. His family began to worry. Y'all, the story goes on, but down in the story says that someone received a call that he was being chased by someone who was racist, and now we see, as in the title, that it would possibly because he was LGBT and for
no,
being black. Condolences go to that family. Um, you never know what it's like to lose somebody like that until you actually go through it. Like you were saying
right,
before, you can give somebody condolences, but it's a
right,
totally different thing to be like, I really understand it because I'm really, really going through it. But I
right.
don't understand what's going on with everybody who is coming up missing out of nowhere.
You know, it all ties in to mental health because the simple fact of the matter is you cannot be in your right mind and killing people,
Yeah,
snatching people.
yeah,
I mean, you literally can, and we don't know what's going on in the minds of those that do that, and so we have to keep the missing people in prayers and those that are doing the kidnapping or the killing. And I mean,
yeah,
we who really wants to forgive somebody that killed your loved one? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, but as Christians, we're commanded to forgive.
Oh, that's a
But
good question. Well, that's a good question for the comments. If you are watching this or listening to this right now, let me know in the comments. Or are you able to forgive someone who kills somebody in your family? Or Glennette, are you able to forgive someone who hurts your dog?
can you hear them in the background?
Yep.
Y'all gonna leave Samson and Coco alone.
Like it's easy for us to say because we're Christians, okay, I forgive you. But that human side want to be like, hell no, I need you to die the same way you kill my loved one.
Oh Lord Jesus. I think it takes a very spiritual, mature person to be able to do that.
I'm not there yet.
Well, when it's new, you say that, but when God has really touched your heart, I would like to believe. I
Hmm.
hope and pray never to know the feeling or never have to find out if I could.
Yeah,
But we've got to believe that when God touches your heart,
yeah,
to forgive, that maybe you will be able to. Now, it may not be right away, you know,
yeah,
because like you said, we are human. But at some point, you have to, because if you don't, then what happens is that the Bible says, forgive those so that God, like God in heaven, has forgiven you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And if what the Bible say is true, and there's no sin greater than the other, our little sins that we do, where we constantly crucify Christ,
hmm,
we want forgiveness. And
yeah,
it's and I know it's easier said than done, but I really think that at some point you have to let that go. You have to let that hate go, because number one, it's not going to bring the person back.
yeah,
And number two, you're putting your soul in jeopardy. because you're hating, and then you never know when your number's called and you die with that on your heart and on your
Yeah.
soul. And I mean, like I said, it's easy for me to say that. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's harder to do.
Yeah. I definitely believe that. And I think you covered this on your show with Pastor. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all
Macintosh.
these comments. Yeah, you covered it with Pastor McIntosh. I think that there are certain lessons, not even necessarily biblical, but there are certain things that the churches need to start teaching or need to start talking about or need to start discussing that sometimes we are afraid. I'm signing off. Yes, I'm a true believer. God bless you, Pastor McIntosh. Thank you, and we love you. I look forward to seeing you really, really soon. And she's going to be a guest on my show. I cannot wait. I'm just going to shut up and let her talk the whole time.
Ain't she wonderful?
She is. But there are certain things that I believe if the church would start dealing with, start talking about it, not be so afraid of, because it's a taboo topic. Like, instead of having a weekly Bible study sometime, have a session to where you just sit down and you provide a safe place for your members to talk about what they're going through. Because sometimes just being able to talk about your problem will allow you to go through it easier because you feel like you're seen or you feel like you're heard, as opposed to being in a situation to where I'm surrounded by all these people, but it's like nobody care about what I'm going through. They only care about if I'm paying my tithes. They only care about if I'm showing up. They only care about if I'm saying amen to the sermon or if I'm standing up clapping. But whenever it comes down to my personal life, the things that I'm struggling with drugs. I'm struggling with pornography. I'm struggling with sex. I'm struggling with alcohol. I'm struggling with feeling alone. These things that I'm struggling with, talk to me like a human sometime, and don't necessarily have to use thus, thou, arts, and all this other stuff. Talk to me like, look, this is what you're dealing with. Let's deal with it in a human
But
form, whether they're making everything spiritual.
But that's why I love my church, and that's why I've been there for so long. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing: at the end of the day, it's not just up to the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so what Pastor Allen does is he nurtures and matures people, his members, to do some of the work, because
Yeah.
he's one man. He's one man with a whole flock of people. That's why you have ministers and elders.
Yeah.
We have Elder Michelle. She has her I think it's called, help me Tamara, I think it's called Pearls, and she'll put it in the chat. But she deals with women that have issues, and she meets them once a month, and
Yeah.
I've gone. You know what I'm saying? And there are all kinds of crown jewels. There are all kinds of subjects that she comes, and she's anointed for that. But here's the thing: Pastor has given her a platform to do that. Sister
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Otanya, she has her Otanya Allen Ministry, and she puts together things. And so that's why I love my church. But here's the thing: we have got to take responsibility too, as ministers and elders, to
Yes.
walk in what God has called us to do, because
Yeah.
pastor can't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
He's called to minister to the flock, but
Yeah.
you have other levels to this thing. He's pouring into you. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
sitting there getting full and constipated, and not
Mm-hmm.
and not giving out what he's teaching you. It's what the young people call gatekeeping. So
Yeah.
he's feeding into you, and you're gatekeeping. So it's their responsibility to take what he has given, to turn it into something to help people. And it's our responsibility, as Tamara said, is to
Absolutely.
show up. Because if I
Yeah.
don't show up, they have this thing when it comes to voting. If you don't vote, you can't say nothing. Well,
Yeah.
if you don't show up, be quiet.
Yeah.
When pastor puts on these events, and he puts on these ministries, and he brings people to minister to you, to do everything that you're talking about,
Yeah.
and then only 10, 15, 20 people show up,
Yeah.
he hears
Yeah.
you and he's doing what you're asking, but you, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to feed my
Mm-hmm.
kids. Let me tell you something. There was a time that I stayed up, and this is when you know you want something. I stayed up talking to somebody until 5 o'clock in the morning, knowing I
Jesus.
had to be at work at 6:45.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I got up and went to work. So
Yeah.
you show up for what you want to show up for. You
Yes.
stay up for what you want to stay up for. You
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice for what you want to sacrifice for. If it was really that bad and you really needed God to show up in your life and do something for real, right then, right there, your butt would be there. But we
Yeah.
get complacent. Oh,
Yeah.
I can do this in my own power. I can do this. And so, I can't go, I can't make it. I can't go. I don't feel like it. I don't
Yeah.
want to. And
Yeah.
listen, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm throwing rocks at myself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm tired. I didn't work the 12-hour shift. I don't feel like dealing with these folks. But if I wanted
Yeah.
something bad enough, I bet you I'd be there.
Put it like this. My perfect example for wanting something bad enough, you do whatever you have to do to get it. When I used to go to the club on a Friday night and I would drink, I know in order for me not to wake up in the morning and feel like blah, I need to go eat something greasy. I go to
Hmm.
Whataburger.
Hmm.
Anybody who know about Whataburger know you gonna wait about 20 minutes to get your food. But if you want to get rid of that feeling that you know Whataburger can help you get rid of, you're gonna wait in line.
I'm gonna wait in line just because I'm hungry and I like Whataburger. But I get what you say.
I have one right up the street. You're gonna make me go up there. So I do believe that like you were saying, in our church, there's a lot of people who Bishop Sherman C.G. Allen of Christ Cathedral, Fort Worth, Texas, with First Lady Otanya.
3201 Puritan
That
Avenue,
part, that part.
76103. Sunday
Mm-hmm.
mornings, 10 a.m. Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
They
Show
have
up.
put people in place that have gone through things, and like you say, with being taught. But I think that one of the more prevalent things is once we are being taught, we have to want to share our testimony, and not because
Right,
we're saved now, pretend like we've been saved all of our lives.
right, right.
Because you miss the bulk of people who probably are right in your neighborhood, or people that you will meet in a store who won't come to a church, but they'll listen to you talk if you share
Yes,
your testimony.
yes, yes. And God will make a way for your testimony to
Yes,
come
He
up.
will.
Listen, let me tell you, I work in the ER, okay? And so I touch hundreds of people every day because they all want to come to the ER.
I'm buying you some hand
But
sanitizer.
listen, I wear gloves. It's okay.
Praise the
But
Lord.
not only, so I come and I have to come smiling because I
Yeah.
work with people. So I can't and we all go through our own things. But I said that to say that there are times when God will always make a way to share your testimony with
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you need to share your testimony with. Because and my job is a Christian hospital. So they don't mind you praying with the patients if the patient is comfortable with that.
Right.
And so there are times when a patient is scared, or they're there by themselves, and just a little, just to make them feel more comfortable. Sometimes I share a piece of my testimony to get their mind off of what
Yeah.
they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always a time where God will make a way to share your testimony, and it doesn't have to be the whole dirty thing. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is a little smidgen. I'm gonna tell you, and then I'll let you talk. So I was at work and I was
She
sitting
love to
at
talk.
I do. I was girl, when I was at school, when I was in elementary, I used to get my report card and it said refrain from unnecessary talking, usually does not. So anyway, so I was sitting there, and one of the guys that transport patients, he said to me, he said, I knew you were a believer. And I was like, you did? I said, how did you know that? He said, because your light just shines. He said, just whenever I see you, your light is just shining. I said, can you write that down and tell my pastor? But it made me feel some kind of way that somebody, when I'm not really thinking that I'm doing anything other than the normal and being me, that they see the God in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I look in the mirror and I be like, is you in there, God?
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
somebody to say that to me, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
heathen like I thought I was.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
that
okay.
adding to what you said, we have to always, as believers or as people who are assigned to other people's lives, we have to always present ourselves approachable,
Yeah.
because we never know who God is placing us around that need to see us smiling so that they'll know that they can come up to us and they can say something.
Yes.
If that dog barks, well, yeah, come on. I think he want to be on camera to testify too.
He's in his kennel, so he wouldn't be trying to get in front of the camera.
See, he just trying to testify about the goodness of doggy treats.
We're gonna ignore Samson right now. So.
But we have to be willing to go through and deal with our lives, but know that because we are representing or representing God, we have to represent Him to people to where, um, like, since I've been doing this, whether it be radio or podcasting, I've seen some of my favorite actors or some of my favorite singers or favorite, there's people in general on TV, and they seem one way, but whenever it's time to get them at an award show to sit down and interview, or whenever it come down to doing a one-on-one interview like this, they're not approachable. It makes me question, are you representing God because of who He is, or are you representing God because you know what that representation can get you? Because you can literally turn somebody away from God that
Oh, of
probably really needs
course.
you at that moment. If I walk by you in the store 5 or 6 times and I don't have nothing in my basket, and I'm walking real slow, and I'm looking at you, I'm doing the little flirt, looking back to see, oh, she looking at me, oh, she looking at me. I might need something. But if you are not that person who want to be approached, you look like you've been eating prunes and stuff all day, you frowned up. I don't want to be bothered with you because I feel like you're gonna bite my head off.
Yeah. Just
So being
and
a
what you said is true. If we can draw people to God, we can chase people away from God.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I
all
believe that.
again, and it's definitely it all goes back to the whole concept of mental health, because in order for us to be right, in order for us to represent God a certain kind of way, or just getting completely out of the whole God thing, just representing positivity, we have to be
Mm-hmm.
right ourselves. So whenever we're going through something, although it's very cliche-ish, it's not such a bad thing for us to go sit down and go talk to a professional. People
I
always
got
want to say,
one.
I have a couple. Talk
Mm-hmm.
space. I got. I want to say around COVID, uh, the Breakfast Club partnered up with Talkspace, and they were giving out like 6 or 7 trials or whatever. I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that I have somebody that I can talk to who don't know me, so
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to say something that you think I want to hear.
Right. They don't have a dog in the hunt.
Yeah, and like I hate whenever people say, "Oh, just pray about it."
Mm-hmm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
pray about it because I believe God can do whatever, but sometimes I need to hear a voice that sounds just like mine.
Yes. 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 I believe that. I worked in the mental health. I worked in the mental health field for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I still feel I'm working in the mental health field, depending on what day that I go to work. But I worked in it and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it's real. And the way the world is going,
Uh-huh.
it's just getting, with everything that's going on, the prices are rising, but your paycheck is not rising. That gives you stress, that gives you
Yeah.
anxiety. Am I going to be able to feed my kids? As a man, am I going to be able to provide for my family? It gives me anxiety because I go to work every day and I work
Yeah.
12 hours a day. And then
Yeah.
I see some of these young folks, they be in the Bahamas, they be in the Florida, they be eating crab legs and lobsters, and I be like, I can barely afford some ramen noodles. Come on now,
Look,
what?
and that's like
So,
$23 for 100 of them.
and I'm like, and I be like, and so I can see where that would affect a person's mental health. All
Yeah.
I'm taking care of is me and Samson and Coco. But can
Yeah.
you imagine somebody
Yeah.
that's taking care of a bunch of people,
A bunch of
kids,
people.
husbands? And then what happens if one of them gets sick? Then you
Mm-hmm.
got to work, like, as a man. I'm not a man, but then you have to worry about, as a man, if I get sick and can't go to work, is my wife gonna leave me? Is she gonna take the
Yeah.
kids? Well, what if she leave the kids? You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
got to take care of me and the kids. So it can be stressful. It can cause anxiety. It can cause depression. It can cause all kind of things. And then let's not talk about what's in the food that can cause these things too.
Facts. Facts.
You know,
So I'm gonna
you
put
need to
this up
talk.
so that you can read this also.
Okay. She's right. They let this, and that goes back to what we were saying. Say sometimes you get a speaker that comes, that maybe your pastor has brought a speaker and he's coming to preach. Well, they don't like what that preacher had to say, so I don't like them, so I'm not coming. Now, if the rock hit you and it hurt, it just hurt. Come
It
back.
just hurt.
Not saying that everybody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Maybe they could have said it in a better way. Maybe they could have
Mm-hmm.
took you to the side and said it. Okay. But the fact of the matter, it still remains, did they lie?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Right.
And we don't want our mess talked about. We want to feel all the good things. I'm gonna get me a car, I'm gonna get me a house, God gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring me this, God gonna bring me that. I said, and I mean this when I say it, I know what it's like to be poor. I've been poor
Yeah.
all my life. I just want to hear his voice.
Yeah.
I just want to know that he is working in my life. That is my prayer. I don't know what
Yeah.
anybody else's prayer, but sometimes I'll be driving down the street and I'll be like, God, I just want to, the old people used to say back in the Kojic, I just want to know that I know that I know.
Yeah.
You know, I just, that's what I want.
Yeah.
If I don't never have a brand new paid off car, if I don't never have a 10-bedroom house, which I really don't want, because ain't no telling who gonna be living on the other side, because people sneak in the middle of the night and then they want
That
to chop
part.
you up and kill you. But if I don't never get any of that, just let me know that you're real.
Yeah.
That's my prayer. That's my
Yeah.
desire.
That's where I am now with my situation with what I'm dealing with Bell's palsy, because I'm used to being able to do, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a situation now that, you know, every single day I'm living off of, okay, God, don't let your boy down. I need
Right.
this. I need
Right.
this. And surprise, what, not even surprisingly, but shockingly for me, right whenever I'm supposed to be about to lose everything,
Mm-hmm.
at that moment, whenever I'm ready to give up, because I'm like, well, God, I done waited all this time and it ain't happened. So it is what it is. He shows up. I remember while I was in the hospital, I had just got a car, and I had like 2 payments left on the car. While I was in the hospital, I was communicating with the people I bought the car from. I was like, look, unfortunately, I'm in the hospital. They don't know when they're going to let me out. I know I owe you X amount of money on this car. If y'all want it, y'all can come get it. Because I was like, well, God, you know what? I can't do nothing. The lady sent
Mm-hmm.
me a text message. She was like, oh, don't worry. We just wrote it off. It's paid off. The car is yours. The registration is in the mail. By the time you get out the hospital, you'll have it. And I'm thinking to myself, God, you set this up to where the person that I'm getting the car from was understanding enough or had a good enough relationship with you not to hold against me that I couldn't pay for this car. And they just gave it to me.
Right. And look at God. Look at God. See, and we stress and I say that, but we're as human beings. Did I say
Yeah.
that right? Human as human beings. Um, it's easier to say, and I always say it's easier said than done. It's easier to say, don't stress, God got you.
Yeah.
But what happens when we say God got you and he don't, or we think he don't got us?
It
So
don't
we
feel like it.
resist, right? So we losing things, and we're saying, but you said you was gonna show up on time. You said you was gonna be there,
Mm-hmm.
but in fact, yeah. But just because you lost this, it doesn't mean that he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he chose not to do what we thought that he should
Yeah.
do doesn't mean that he was not able. Because 9 times out of 10, when we lose something that we thought was going to kill us, I lost
Yeah.
that man. I thought it was going to kill me. We still there. I lost that house. I thought it was going to kill
Mm-hmm.
me. Now I have something better. So we don't always see why the rhyme or the reason is of what happened. Why did this have to happen? Why did I have to go through this? Why did I lose everything? Why do I look like a failure to other people? The Bible says that Job lost everything. And then when he
Everything.
prayed, and then when he prayed for his friends, isn't that what it say? Maybe I'm wrong. That God restored more than what he had.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have to take the focus off of us and pray for somebody else.
Yeah, I honestly believe that that's how able to make it and survive right now because I'm not gonna lie. Since more like March or so, they won't let me go back to work, but God is still supplying all my needs.
Yes, yes,
And I
yes.
think it's because definitely not because I'm some perfect individual, but one thing I know is one thing that has been working for me is the fact that I don't care if you pay me $40, I'm gonna pay my $4 tithes.
Hmm.
But
Look
in
at
the
you.
but at the same time, in my weakness or in my drought of not being able to do for me, I'm able to do for other people. And as long as I'm
Mm.
taking care of God's assignment, God takes care of me.
Look at the.
Let me put this up right fast before we go. Let's talk about it. Go on and read Miss Boyd's word.
It says, I didn't work for the last 2.5 years and didn't miss a beat. Paid off 2 cars and walked in the car lot the week after I got out and bought 2 on one day. Paid cash for one and a small note on the other after loaning 2 of my cars to family members who wrecked them and left them on the side of the freeway. Can I have one?
Wait,
I won't wreck it and I won't leave it on
I
the
won't
side of the freeway.
I won't rank it, but let me ask you a question. Do you still talk to these family members? Is there an awkward feeling at the family reunions?
You know what? It don't even matter because God has showed himself faithful to her. So
Y'all
walk up in
good.
that. You gonna get there, baby. You still
I'm
you
gonna get
still
there.
learning.
I got to stay under Bishop's anointing a little bit more
That
because,
that
like,
that you do a lot more. You need to be there for
just
another
a lot
25
more.
for 25. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
one
Yes.
live. Oh, one live with me when it happened, baby. You good? You
But
real good.
let me tell you something.
I'd have
Tamara
bleached all their
is
clothes.
oh, stop it. We can't do that. We live in a different kind of life.
Oh gosh.
You are a role model. You can't do that. We can't bleach clothes. But I'll give. Let me say this about Tamara Boyd Walker. One thing I do know about her is she's a giver. She
Yeah.
is a giver. She will give you the clothes off her back. So even though I can't hear Pastor sometimes on Sunday because she be preaching, she. I'm just playing Tamara. I'm just playing. But she's a giver. She's a wonderful person. All the people on here are wonderful people. You're a wonderful
Absolutely.
person.
You're
I
a wonderful
love
person
I
too.
love doing this. I'm having
Even though
fun
it
on
took
this.
you 3 years to come back home.
Listen, I ain't had no money.
I don't understand.
Airtime costs money. So if y'all would like to sponsor Broken for Purpose, can I put in a
Hold
shameless plug?
Baby, I'm gonna put in one too. She said, "Trust me if I don't." Yes, that's it.
So here's my shameless plug. If
Go.
y'all would like to, if y'all would like to sponsor Broken for Purpose or donate for Broken for Purpose so that we can stay on the air, so we can do our podcast every week, please, 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 you can cash app Broken for Purpose 01, or
Hold
you
on.
can you're gonna put it up there, or you can zell us at 682-203-7762 so that we can have content and we can come live to you and talk about all the things that you want to talk about.
Hold
So
on.
yeah,
Broken
and
for
my
purpose. What?
Broken for Purpose 01.
01. Cash out. Okay.
Yes, come on. And one more shameless plug. In 3 months, Broken for Purpose 01. That's it. In 3 months, y'all got to come to our Broken for Purpose Empowerment Luncheon.
Yes,
You can,
yes.
yes, it is going to be off the chain. We have none other than Dr. Dana Bennett out of Plano, Connect Church out of Plano. She's going to be our keynote speaker. We're going to have a marvelous lunch for you, goodie bags and all that thing. You can go on my website, www.brokenforpurpose.org. You can buy your tickets. If you want to be a vendor, we got a spot for you. So all that is on our website. So come on out. Yes, last year we did it. It was wonderful. This year it's going to be even better.
Absolutely. I couldn't make it last year because I was working, but baby, I am here for
Yes,
the one
yes.
this year.
And I think I want us to set up a booth so you can interview people.
That'll be dope. I know she's gonna be on your show soon, but I want to make sure that I give an early shout out to Nia.
Yes, listen, September, probably a week before me or maybe 2 weeks, is When the Poets Pray 2024. You do not want to miss it. Go on her page, Nia Peters, Nia Amani. Listen, she is a profound poet.
Yes, she
Okay.
is.
And listen, I was at her first When the Poets Pray. She gave me the platform to be on it. Last year was even better. This year is going to be even better. So When the Poets Pray 24, y'all stop by her Facebook, hit her up, get a ticket, invest our young people. She's doing so much. She's doing God's work.
Yes, she
I love me
is.
some Dana Ray Bennett too. Ain't she amazing? They need a show. Her and her husband, they
Yeah.
need a show because they be funny.
Let's make
And
it
don't
happen.
forget, on Thursdays, you need to go see Prayer with Otanya Allen on Thursdays at noon.
Yes. On
Listen,
the Otanya Allen
she,
Ministries Facebook page.
yes, she will pray you into heaven and
Yes,
pray
she
you
will.
out of hell.
Yes, she
I like
will.
that.
So I have to talk about one more thing. We're talking about mental health. I have to cover this because I feel like there's a lot of people who are going through mentally because and they don't know how to handle themselves because whenever this happened, whenever I learned this, it struck my heart and I cried.
Mhm.
Um, don't judge me because I cried about this, but coming from iHeart.com, about to get myself ready. It's a national pizza chain abruptly closes restaurants and dozens more to come. I don't know about y'all, but in recent months, huge restaurant chains like Red Lobster, Pizza Hut, Boston Market, TGI Fridays, Popeyes, Cracker Barrel, and Applebee's have been closing locations due to um, financial issues.
Did you say
Um,
Cracker Barrel?
Look, I'm going through right now. I'm just pray for me. According to the Daily Mail, the franchisee uh, EYM Group operates 114 Pizza Hut restaurants across 5 states, and they are being sued by The Pizza Hut company over millions of dollars of unpaid bills. EMY was supposed to have paid up by last week, but missed the deadline, leading to a sudden closure of 15 Indiana locations. Um, and they're said in upcoming weeks, another 129 Pizza Huts will be closed in Georgia, Illinois, South Carolina, and Wisconsin. I just hope and pray, and I'm gonna ask co-pastor to intercede for Pizza Hut in the DFW, because again, there's one right up the street from my house, and those 10.99 pizzas and them meat lovers and them breadsticks and them cinnamon sticks. It's the will of God for my life, and
Listen,
I just can't see them going under. So pray for my mental health as we go through with Pizza
hopefully
Hut being closed
you'll
down.
be able to unbig your back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I ain't
Your
kidding.
back
I do
not
need to
big.
no, my back is big, girl. They shouldn't have been pumping me up with all them freaking steroids. What else? Let's see what else we're gonna talk about before we go right fast. For everyone who has joined us on today's show that have commented, man, we appreciate you
Thank
so much.
you.
This is our first live show, but like I said, we are going to team up once a week to do these live shows. Make sure you subscribe to the intro podcast page. Make sure you can subscribe to our YouTube page, Spotlight Network, Spotlight Broadcast Network, or you can subscribe to Broken for Purpose podcast to find out when we are going to be doing these live shows. And be ready to come on camera sometime. I don't mind reading, but I want you to hear your voice on the podcast platforms, because
Yes.
again, we are going to be placing these on our
Yes.
individual platforms, ranging from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible, YouTube, or wherever you may get your podcast. Before we go, I'm going to let you do your closing comments, and I'll do mine, and we'll be out this piece.
See how he put me on the spot? Listen, guys. Thank you for coming, first of all. Thank you for staying with us for this hour and a half. We really appreciate you. So go by, check out my page, Broken for Purpose Podcast, Broken for Purpose. Go to my website, brokenforpurpose.org. You'll find information to all the things that we're doing. Check out my boy. Listen, he has made one of my dreams come true, and that's to be able to talk to you all. So thank you for showing up. I can't wait to see you next time. Make sure you whisper and tell your friends about us, because we're
That
going to
part.
blow up. We're going to be big, and you want to be on that train.
Absolutely. Support. Broken for Purpose podcast on Cash App. Broken for Purpose 01. Support Spotlight Media Group or the Intro Podcast on Cash App. I am Trevane. Again, if you want some good R&B music, some good love stuff, because I do believe that Christians do need love music, because y'all ain't making love to Amazing Grace, and Father, I stretch my hand to thee. I'm just saying.
I hope
So
not. I hope
I hope
not.
not. Uh, there's a story, and then I'm gonna go. I forgot what TV show it was on, but the woman decided to leave her husband because he wanted to make love to Amazing Grace.
He was nasty.
He was, Father, I stretch. Look, I'm not even going there with you, because I got to see some of these people at church on Sunday. And I need them to love me then like they love me now. So I'm gonna wait until the show ends, and I'm gonna tell you about the Father I stretch my hand to thee, and I give myself away so you can use me testimony. But
Good Lord.
yes, Toya, I appreciate you guys for being a part of the show. Again, you will be able to stream this show on the Intro Podcast, wherever you find your podcast. And we will also have this on Broken for Purpose Podcast. Next week, we will be live. We don't have a date yet, because we have to work around with Net, because she's making all the money. So,
Making enough money.
because she rich. Y'all should see the house. Y'all should see the barbecue grill she cook on. I can't wait to have some of her barbecue. That's gonna be delicious. Praise the Lord. However,
I can't barbecue.
I can. I'm gonna do the food. You bring the drinks, and I'm talking about apple juice. That part. Yeah, that right there. See that phrase right there. That's what I'm talking about. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming to when she learned. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Get off the slide before I have to fight him.
um Again, just follow us, and again, we appreciate you guys for staying on with us, those that came and left. But again, you will be able to listen to this in its entirety or watch the videos on our platforms. Glennette, I appreciate you for taking out time during your day. We are going to build this thing. I'm excited because we will be in our studio in Fort Worth real soon. So we will have a studio in Fort Worth and we will have a studio in Dallas. And we're just doing big things, and I appreciate you guys for being a part of it. It's your boy Tazz
and Glennette.
Hold on, she took way too long. We didn't rehearse this part, so let's do this again. So we appreciate you guys for being a part of today's show. It's your boy Tazz
and Glennette.
Stop laughing. I gotta go. My husband. Girl, you better go home. So you better go home because your husband home. So,
girl. My man.
I'm gonna get married one day. In the meantime, in between time, we love you guys. See you later.
Bye.